Niko meeting.
Okay, so we're going to welcome, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Open Up is our live talk show. We've had to transition to Zoom here today to keep things going. That is the effects of recording a live talk show. But we are coming to you from Toronto, Canada here today, broadcasting, and our guest is from Kenya. So we are moving forward. And my name is RJ Horner, and I'm the host of Open Up. I'm also the vice president of Voice of Men 360 and a facilitator for a community called Live and Love Life. Voice of Men 360 is part of International Men's Day. And Voice of Men 360 is a not-for-profit organization. We're founded in Toronto, Canada in 2020, and we're created because many boys and men need help and support in their lives. And we understand the demands and the need for support when it comes to our boys and men. Voice of Men 360 was born out of that tremendous need and stepping up to provide services to help support and overcome men's and boys' life challenges. International Men's Day has been serving for over 21 years so far, with 90 countries around the world joining together to participate in various activities regularly. International Men's Day follows the 6 pillars, which represent the overall well-being of men and boys, and we follow in those 6 pillars. Why is it important to open up? Because men and boys do not open their hearts. We're not willing to share our matters. We keep our emotional challenges within ourselves for a long period of time. It eventually explodes and affects our health in a negative manner. We want to create an open space where we allow individuals to share their life journey through our platform and create awareness about the life challenges, the struggles, and how to overcome the ups and downs that our men and boys go through. There are no limitations with gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups with sharing their life journey. All walks of life are invited to participate. Our goal is to make a positive impact on someone's life through this program. Open Up is Sunday mornings live, 10 a.m. to 10:30 Eastern time. Each week we'll bring an individual and share their life journey with you. Today, our guest is going to share a tragic tale. He's a police officer who's become a social activist because he was actually the victim of domestic violence. And he's been taking several initiatives related to and against domestic violence. Thank you for joining us today. My guest is Dan Matakaya. Thank you. You're coming to us from Kenya. Thank you for joining us. He's on mute.
Dan, unmute.
Okay, thank you so much, Jay, for having me today for this wonderful and great forum. And I'm glad to be here today to be part of this initiative.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. And so we love that people are coming on to share their life journey. We like to take people through that life journey. So let's start with childhood, if we could. What was childhood like for you growing up?
Thank you so much. My name is Dan Matakaya. I was born in a family whereby we are 9 siblings, 7 boys and 2 girls, and I'm the 5th born in that family. My childhood was, I can say, I had a normal life whereby my parents, instilled a high level of discipline within us. And coming from a Christian background, we were taught how to work for what we want to achieve in life. everything you are told, you need to work hard for it in order to achieve it. And above all, you need to pray for it. So that's how our life was. And yes, we had a lot. We have struggled because I come from an average family. Yes, life was not easy, but that was the way I knew life. Yeah, we struggled, but even all our neighborhoods, I see people were struggling, and it was a norm. It was so normal for us to live that life. But at the back of our mind, we are working towards changing our life and transforming our life and making sure that we have the best for our kids. Yeah.
Absolutely. No. And that's what we're all working for, right? That's what every parent's job is, to instill those values into their kids at an early age. So I think we all go through that similar background, right?
Yes.
So what was your relationship with your friends or your kin back then, as a young lad?
Yeah, we had a wonderful and great relationship with my peers, my brothers and sisters, and the people around in our society, in our village. We used to play together. We used to share a lot. And yeah, we used to share a lot because we shared common norms, common values. So everything, like within our surrounding, like we had equal opportunities where we could share everything. We love to share. We play together, and we used to share about the life, what we believe, and what we want to achieve as peers, as friends, and as people in the village or in our society.
No, great. And again, you know what? It sounds like, I mean, the average normal upbringing, right? Like we all go through our ups and downs. We all go through their struggles. We all have our friends. We all have, and love and hate between our friends, I'm sure too, right?
Yeah, and we have the same similarities. Yeah.
And so how was your emotional relationships? Like how, did you have good close friends, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I had close friends whom whenever I could see them suffering, and at one point, if I have something that I could share, that is the best thing I could do. And they also could do the same to me, like share what they have, the smallest thing that they have, we could share, and we could support each other emotionally, the same as even our parents could also support us to make sure we have that mental stability and we are strong mentally, psychologically, so that we can work hard.
Mm-hmm,
and
absolutely.
I can say we received the necessary support that we needed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, if I could, because we value also here the father relationship, like we're again the men's support, right? If you wouldn't mind telling me, did you have a good relationship? Did you have good support at home with your father?
I can say, okay, I had no issue with my father, but I was so close to my mom as compared to my dad. Whenever I wanted something, even from my dad, I couldn't go direct to my dad. I could go to my mom and ask her, I need this, so that she may go and tell my dad that, oh, Dan needs this and this. So let me tell you, honestly, I couldn't face my dad and tell him I need this and I need this. Yeah, but he was not like a bad man. He supported us, but naturally, me, I felt that no, I can't go along with my dad. But he supported me, and he was a disciplinarian, so to say. So I was so afraid of him, but I can say he supported me a lot.
No, that's what we want. Is that a common practice in your culture? Is it are the men distant, or are is that your friends the same thing?
I think yes, I think I can say men, we are so attracted to our mothers, and our sisters are so are so close to our dads. I've seen it even with my peers and even our neighbors. So it's like the same thing. Yeah.
No, good to know. I mean, that's what we want, is to learn those differences or those similarities. So thank you for sharing that. And if so, we move a little longer or move a little different. So school, what was that like for you? Did you have, friendships, or did you have special teachers who took to you? What was school like for you?
Yeah, my school life was so good. I had those teachers who could support me. At one point, I could be punished more because my mom was a teacher and teaching the same school where I was learning. So sometimes I felt that no, they used to like punish me more because they expected more from me. Like for my mom being a teacher in that school, so the expectation from other teachers was so high. So yeah, that's what I can say. And both my parents were teachers, so they wanted the best from me. So I could be punished even for other students' mistake because they felt that my parents being teachers, the expectation even the society had from me was so high. Like they perceive that maybe I'm above, like I'm more than other students. Yeah.
Yep. So it sounds like you had a normal upbringing, normal life, good values, good manners taught to you.
Yes.
So, and then you go on to become a police officer, but then, I mean, anybody watching can tell something happened to you, right? So would you mind telling us your story a little bit, where you come from and why you're so passionate about domestic violence?
Yes. It's such a painful story, but it's worth sharing because
We're grateful you're able to open up. So please.
Yes, because I believe me coming out and speaking up about my story just encourages other men who have opted to suffer in silence to also follow follow the suit, to come out and share, because it's only when we share our stories, our experiences, that we could be able to get help. So
Yes.
After high school, that was in 2007, I was so lucky. The following year, 2008, I was recruited to the National Police Service. And after the training, just a very hard training. After the training, 9 months later, I graduated and posted to a police station. And that's where, during my work, I met my ex-wife. I say my ex-wife because we are not together right now. And we stayed together for a few years. No, we knew each other from 2009, and then 2012 January we got into marriage, and we stayed together in marriage for 2 years. And in 2013, in May, the same year, 2012, we had a kid. That was in September, that's October 2013, we had a kid. And then in 2014, May, we lost the kid due to severe pneumonia and meningitis. 2 weeks after the burial, my ex-wife came to me and told me that she had been advised that we needed to have another kid so that we could move on from the loss, from that traumatic pain that we are experiencing. But to me, I felt uncomfortable. I was so hesitant to that idea, not because it was a bad idea, but because I felt that someone somewhere was trying to intrude into our private and personal issues and trying to influence some of the decisions that we are making as a couple. So I talked to her, to my ex-wife, and asked her that if we could give it a weight so that someone somewhere could not feel that he or she is controlling our life. So we agreed and we moved on. It was a long distance relationship or marriage, so to say, and we used to see each other each and every weekend. She could travel to where I was working and I could travel to where she was working. So the same year, 2013, in September, she came and we stayed for 2 weeks. And 2 days before she left, we had a quarrel whereby she wanted to take the kids' belongings, those items from my house. She take it to where she was living. So that's where the quarrel started. I refused and we started like quarreling, and my ex-wife was such a silent lady. She was not a person who could open up and share what she was going through. So she was so quiet. And as usual, the way I knew things, whenever she was so quiet, I could reach out to her people, to her parents, to try and intervene, to understand what was going on. So this time around, I called her mom and shared with her what was happening, and she called her home. So on 21st September 2013, that was the day she was supposed to travel. She had packed her items, her belongings, and I was on duty now on 20th. Being a police officer, I was on a night shift, and at around 5:30 a.m., I went to the house. Since I was so tired, I just went direct to my bed just to have a rest before I started the day's engagements. So few minutes as I was sleeping, she woke up and poured sulfuric acid on my face. It started burning. I woke up and tried.
Hello? Hopefully that's just minors. Dan, can you hear me? Dan, we're having a signal issue. He keeps trying to tell his story. I don't think he's aware.
Because I never knew. Yes.
Okay. So we were having signal issues there for a moment. If you can go back right to where, believe it or not, right to where she woke you up.
Yes. I was saying, as I was sleeping, she woke up and poured sulfuric acid on my face, and she ran away. So it started burning. At that time, I was so confused, and during that confusion, I decided to come out of the bed and get some water to dissolve the burns. So immediately I stepped on the floor, I felt a shock. She had even gone further and connected electricity and poured water on the floor. Now the current was flowing, whereby she wanted me to be electrocuted in that house. But luckily enough, since I had nothing to do at that moment, I just screamed, and my colleagues came for my rescue. They took me out of the house and rushed me to the nearest hospital. In that hospital, that's where I received the first aid, and I walked to the ward because I started seeing. But when I was in the ward, after the admission, the pain was so severe. I was struggling with the pain, and now the doctors, seeing me struggling, they injected me and left me to sleep. So I slept, and when I woke up, I realized that I couldn't see anymore. So the treatment journey started, and I was flown to the National Referral Hospital. It's called Kenyatta National Hospital. That's where I received a comprehensive treatment, and in that hospital, being in the burns unit, that's where I came across many other survivors of the same domestic violence, because I knew maybe it was me, I was the first one. But at that time, in that hospital, I came across many men were experiencing the same. So I received a comprehensive treatment, and my only prayer was for the restoration of my sight while in that hospital. But one day the doctors came and told me that, Dan, we have tried, but we are sorry, you won't be able to see again. To me, I felt that was the end of me. That was the end of me, because I was praying for the restoration of my sight, but when the doctors came and told me that you won't be able to see again, I felt my life had come to an end, and the only option I had and I thought of was to commit suicide, to take my own life. So I started contemplating suicide and thought that maybe if I throw myself from that hospital through the window, by the time I reached the ground, maybe I'll have gone. But since I was not seeing, something was still clicking in my mind. What if you throw yourself, then there's a roof next to the window, then it blocks you? What kind of damage will you have caused yourself? So I stepped back to try and figure out the best way to do it. But another patient who was my friend, who was in the same ward and who was there for me, who was supporting and helping me in my condition, we were having a discussion at around 2 a.m. This guy told me that, Dan, I wish I could be you. I laughed hearing it from him. I laughed and thought that this guy was going crazy. So I went ahead and asked him, why are you saying so? And he was so honest, so to say. He told me that, Dan, your face is disfigured. You are not seeing. But one thing he was sure of was that I could come out of that hospital alive. For him, he never knew his fate. But I can say this is the guy who changed my life. That was the turning point for me. That statement alone gave me hope, because I just needed someone who is not my family member, who is not a friend, to just tell me that I'm worth living, even in that condition. And God used this guy to transform and turn around my life. And through counseling, I accepted myself, and I promised God that when you take me out of this hospital, I'll commit and devote my time to doing your work and saving other people who are suffering out there. So I was discharged in February 2014 in a fair condition, because now the environment I felt was becoming difficult for me. So I was discharged in a fair condition after undergoing over 15 surgeries. And to me, when I was in the hospital, going to theater was so normal to me. I felt that was the only way I couldn't feel the pain, because it was so painful. And the burn wounds, they are so painful as they take time to heal, So it wasn't easy. And if even those people who are following you can see my eyes. You can't even imagine if I had eyes before. I think you can see me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So it was so painful, but I thank God I managed, and I'm strong, and I can stand there I can talk to people as a survivor to just encourage them that, yes, we go through issues, but we can still come out of it. Because I believe that, and I know my visible scars represents many invisible scars of oppression, abuse, and violence. And my voice speaks for many victims of the same oppression, abuse, and violence that men, I'm specific, men have opted to suffer in silence. Have opted to suffer in silence and let the perpetrators to have the strength to even to abuse them. Because I only believe violence thrives in silence. The moment you opt to suffer in silence, no one will understand that you have an issue unless you come out and speak up of what you are going through, share what you are going through. And if we decide to share, the perpetrators feel threatened. That's why I'm here to encourage men, to encourage those victims of domestic violence to come out and share so that we can get the help that we need.
Wow. I thank you for everything you've just run through for us, because I mean, not only have you been generous enough to tell us your story, which is powerful, and I'm glad everybody has the opportunity to hear it, but you've also given us so much advice on how to deal with life and how to deal with being a man in general. And I'm glad that you've given, because I'm supposed to ask you those things to end the show, but I mean, you've taken those on yourself. You've given your advice to men out there on how they can move forward and how they could, make themselves better in a stronger day, right?
Yes.
So one thing I do want to get into is, I mean, you've survived. You're stronger and better because of it, but you now decided to move on and help others and start your own foundation against domestic violence. So tell us a little bit more about that and why you started that, why it's so powerful.
Okay, thank you so much. When I was in the hospital, those people who were helping me were victims of domestic violence. I was not seeing, so I depended on those individuals to help me to navigate and to maneuver in that hospital. So me seeing those people dying, not able to make it, I felt so bad. Mm-hmm. And it was so painful. So I just said that I could do something. Because, in our culture, men have not been given that opportunity to talk, to share what they experience. When you come out and speak of what you are going through, there's a lot of stigma, because we are being told that men don't cry, you don't need to show your emotions. And, we are human beings. The society need to give us, need to listen to us. But when the same society stigmatizes against you, it becomes even more painful, So I felt that having gone through the pain, having experienced the pain, gone through the same, I'm in a better position to educate and to sensitize the society about violence. So that's when I registered that organization. It's called the Shieshie Foundation, just to create a safe space for men to open up and share what they are going through. So it's a safe space as we fight and make sure that we advocate for the reduction and eventual elimination of violence against men. That's what we are doing. And I believe with time and with the support that we may receive after the sensitization, we'll achieve our objective.
And there's definitely a lot of synergy between your organization and our organization, Voice of Men 360, where we're looking to create a safe space for men to open up and talk and maybe not just share their stories, but share in doing some of the work and helping to evolve beyond, like you say, maybe one day the elimination of domestic violence against men.
Yes.
So, and then just tell us again, you've told us a lot, and I think I'm going to know your answer to this, but leave us with some advice and guidance for our young boys growing up to be men. What is your message to them? How can we help them become better men?
What I can tell young boys and even the youth is that first, you need to understand who you are. What is your identity? Self-awareness is key. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know your limitation. Now, after knowing yourself, you'll be able to understand other people. Because After knowing yourself, you'll know where is the boundary. Where do I need to seek for help? You may not understand where you need to seek help. You may not understand if you are going through any problem unless you know yourself. So self-awareness is key. And for those people who want to get into marriage, what I could advise them is to try to understand those people you want to commit your life to. Take your time. Take your time. Marriage has its own challenges. It's not an easy journey. Like it has challenges, so to say. Yeah, and it's true. Marriage is not something that is not is it's not like a honeymoon thing. It has challenges, but we need to know as we enter marriage, we need to know that we at one point will face those challenges. So I want to advise men to try and even understand those people they want to commit their life to. Try to know how will this person react to issues. Whenever he or she is facing issues, how do this guy react? Yeah. At that point, having that knowledge, you'll be able to understand, or you'll be able to know how to approach some of the issues. And then communication is key. Communicate, talk, share. Whenever you are going through issues, share. No one will understand that you are facing this and that challenges unless you come out and speak up of those challenges. That's the only way people and the world will know that you are going through challenges and you need the help. And that's the only way you'll get the help. Because you may be going through some problems, you are not alone. Many people have gone through it.
Yes.
I have gone through it and I've come out of it strong. So reach out to those people. They'll be able to support you. They'll hold your hand and they help you to come out of it. And finally, what I can tell any person listening to us is that it's okay not to be okay. Whatever you are going through, yeah, it's okay. The best way, what determines is how you will manage and how you will come out of it. It's always okay not to be okay. Mm-hmm. It's normal. Yeah. What determines
Dan.
how you'll come out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love all the advice. I knew you were going to say share, but all the advice you just gave is just so powerful, especially the advice about marriages and really considering it before you take that step. So thank you, Dan Matagaya, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
So it's not easy to open up and talk to people about sharing their life journey and experiencing struggles, especially surviving life and death situations. So I appreciate your courage and willingness to come out and share your life struggles and challenges with other men.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. So that is the perfect example of open up. Thank you for sharing your life journey with us today. When people like you come forward and share their life experiences on platforms like ours, especially on social media, it'll give hope to someone out there to change their mindset and change their life in a positive direction.
Yeah. That
is our goal here in Voice of Men 360. We want to bring out individuals and allow them to share their life journey, have an open conversation about our men and boys' challenges and how we can help them become better men. I have a few announcements to share. First, we have 4 shows weekly, live shows. Open Up, the one you just watched, with me hosting Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, we have Vili, which is a live talk show. That means I in Tamil. It is a Tamil language talk show. We have 2 shows a week, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time for people who live outside of Canada. We also have a weekly webinar on Saturday mornings for discussion on men's issues. That's Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have panel discussions twice a month, again, in English and Tamil. Those are our 2 supportive languages that we're currently covering. And we take our episodes and turn them into podcast so you can participate at your convenience. We are looking for new guests consistently. So please reach out to us. I'll tell you how you can do that in a moment. We recently started our monthly men's group meetings. These are the 3rd Sunday of every month from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Again, we are in Eastern Standard Time. And so anyone can join. Our next event is March 6th. There will be a presentation on Bounce Back program from CMHA. That is the Canadian Health and Mental Addiction. I think it is something. Or CMHA, I think it's supposed to be, which is Canadian Mental Health and Addiction. I think that's what's supposed to be. So please join us Saturday, March 6th for that. Another special discussion on Saturday, March 6th will be Women's Day. People from India, Pakistan, Malaysia, Trinidad, and Canada will be joining and sharing their messages. So please join in that celebration. Again, we want you to participate in our programmings, and there's no limitations with age, gender, nationality, or ethnic groups. We want all walks of life to participate and share their life journey. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows or willing to participate and be involved in our organization, whether directly or indirectly, you can reach out to us at 437-889-8329. Once again, that's 437-889-8329 is our phone number. Our email address is info@voiceofmen360.org, and our website, www.voiceofmen360.org. You can find us on all social medias. Again, we are Voice of Men 360. You can find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us here in Open Up. And until next time, please continue with your support. Thank you for joining us. Better days ahead.